Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Savvy C. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit that like button, also subscribe. And if you're coming back, welcome. So great to have you again. Please leave me some love in the comments. All right, so today we're going to be just doing a nice little April budget recap. So going over how much I actually made this month, the bills, which of course don't change usually, expenses, and then sinking funds, and then totaling everything out at the end. So let's hop into it. All right, starting from the top with income. So for work, before I was estimating, I usually make around $500 a month. I made a little bit more in April. I made $513.28, which isn't bad. So that's plus $13.28. And then I didn't get my tax refund, so we're just gonna ignore that part. So moving down to bills, my wax came out as expected, $68 on the nose. Hulu came out $5.99, and then my iPhone came out $22.99. So there was no changes in any of these. And then to the most exciting part, what you've all been waiting for, expenses. So food, I budgeted $160. Did I spend $160? Yes, plus some. I've mentioned before this is an issue. I'm still working on it. But in the month of April, I added it up and I ended up spending $374.85. Just gonna let that sink in for a second. That's not only double, but more than double what I budgeted for. So we have a problem. I spend too much eating out. And I don't have enough credit cards to be cutting up credit cards willy-nilly, but yeah, I have to figure something out because this is just not sustainable, honestly. All right, so moving on to travel, I spent a little over double on travel, $159. So that was over $59. Moving on to YouTube, I budgeted $30, ended up spending $72.27, and that is over $42.27. Shopping, I budgeted $50. This is about the only thing that's kind of close. I ended up spending $86.59, and that is $36.59 over. And then for unbudgeted, I budgeted $50, and I ended up spending $65.13, which is $15.13 over. So as you can see in the expenses section, it was just kind of out of control. I really don't know what else to say. So I'm just gonna move on. Moving down to my favorite part, actually, sinking funds. So I started with my Chase savings at 75. I added my regular 25, so I end so technically I end my Chase savings, my portion, at 100. However, I've converted the savings into a family savings account because I am taking a trip with my cousins at the end of the summer, so that account actually has $225 in it altogether, but 100 of it is from me. Next, I have my capital savings, which I now break down into my regular savings. So I started with $225. The $125, $25 each week has been added. So for that, I am at $350. And then for my Cali trip, I was at $157.80 at the beginning. This is with my $5 a week plus my roundups, and I was estimating to add about $25 to that. However, $25 with the $5 a week. I don't know how much I thought roundups would be, but my ending balance, my ending sum for my California trip is now $220.79. Which is fantastic. I'm actually right how much that is. So I end up putting $37.99 in addition to my $25 towards my California trip. And then for my Acorns account, I now do $10 a week. So that 50 did go in. That's where I put the estimates. So that 50 did go in. And so my ending Acorns account is now at $536.80. So in addition to the $50 I added, I also added $53.09 in roundups. So it's actually pretty good. All right, now to add everything up. So like I mentioned before, for income, I ended up making $513.28, even though, and I'll put expecting on the side, even though I was expecting around 700. For bills, I ended up spending $96.98, and that was exactly what I was intending on spending. For expenses, I ended up spending $699.43, and my goal was to actually spend $340. For sinking funds, I ended up saving $316.08. So if I were to like total this up, so my income subtracting my bills, expenses, and sinking funds, is gonna look pretty wild, pretty negative. Although I'm not in the negative, and I'll explain why. So without subtracting my sinking funds, for the month, it is negative $283.13. Now, of course, with the addition of sinking funds, this is looking to like over close to $600. So I looked back at last month, which was March, and the budget breakdown I did for March, and I remembered that I did get my big federal income tax last month, and that left me with over $800 after calculating my income, bills, expenses, and sinking funds. So although I went incredibly over in expenses this month, and I still had, around my 300 for sinking funds, it makes sense that well, yes, I'm over. This is like not including sinking funds, but it makes sense that I didn't go into the negative because I had so much left over from last month. So even though the downside is I did largely overspend in expenses, a majority of what was left over last month went to sinking funds. However, that is in addition to my income this year, which was about 500. So yeah, wasn't the best month, but definitely wasn't terrible. And I have a lot more insight on what I need to do next month in order to not fall into these same pitfalls that I kind of encountered this month. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe to my channel to see more budgeting videos. And I'll be back very soon with another one. Bye.